Good morning. I don't care what the day looks like outside. It's nice and bright in our studio because look who's here. Rebekah Latham.
Hello.
With the House of Color. You know what? I'm going to tip my hat to you first crack out of the gate.
Go right ahead.
Because I know you're this color expert and we'll talk about that, but you have to be very diplomatic. I think you do.
I can be, yes, yeah.
Because you kind of have conversations with people, I would argue, when they're kind of at their most vulnerable, because they typically come to you, they want to look better.
Correct, right.
And for them to look better, you have to kind of be honest about who they are, how they look, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are.
Right.
And then work through that.
It's true. So some things I'll joke because I'm like, we're like the military. We got to break you down before we build you up. But the big thing is, what I tell everybody that walks in my studio is no one sat you down and did this. No one in elementary school says, let's find out your best colors. So you didn't know. And oftentimes, unless you're doing these direct comparisons, it's almost impossible to discover for yourself.
Right.
So it's just an evolution. It's just know better, do better. We're just learning. And so then when you do know your colors and you go shopping, which is what we're going to talk about, you are prepared to shop better, and we're not going to worry about what we chose in the past. It's in the past.
So here's why I'm going to tell you. It's like you can Google a medical issue that you're having, but that does not get you to medical school.
That's true.
That's how it is in talking to Rebekah. I talk to you often enough that I think I know more than I clearly know. This is my coat, and we're going to get to that in a minute and tell you the mistake I made. So when you come and you get your colors done with House of Color, you don't walk away empty-handed.
You don't, because yes, it's all fun to know your best colors, but you've got to go out in the world and find them. So everyone that comes to a color analysis appointment gets a color fan. And so this is all my best colors.
Okay.
And so it's my anchor. Color is best seen relative. It's very hard to look at a color and determine the characteristics, but if I were to hold my fan up to a color that's not in my palette,
then you can.
It won't have harmony. And even if I can't personally say, oh, well, this is too rich for my spring colors, I can see it doesn't work well.
Right.
And so if I were to bring this into my wardrobe, I would have trouble pairing it with my other spring colors.
Okay, to that point, you always come with fun popping clothes. You got on this top today that you said you got in Nashville with your sister.
I love this top, and I love the story. So I was in Nashville with my sister. We have a shop that we love to go to. It's called the French Shop. We go every time. And I walked in and I saw this and I was like,
now, not the sweater. You already had the sweater on.
This top shirt. So I was actually wearing this sweater when I was shopping. So I walked in, I saw this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Took it off the rack and put it on, walked out of the store. Obviously, I paid for it. But I put it on, and all the ladies were like, oh my gosh, that already works. And in my head, I was like, yeah, I've done my homework.
Right.
I know that this is spring. I know that this is spring. So I know that it's going to build a cohesive outfit.
Okay, so before we get to my coat, let's talk about these two sweaters, because you may think that you know that you look better in, say, a cream than a stark white.
Correct, yep.
But then there are so many different colors of white. So these two sweaters, very different.
They are.
When
now,
they're side by side.
They're side, exactly. So if I were to hold this up in isolation, I look best in a soft white or a cream. This looks like it could be a cream, right? I'm like, well, that's not bad. So then I take out my fan to see if it would harmonize, and what I will realize is that my colors are brighter than this cream. So if I were to bring this cream into my wardrobe, it's going to be overpowered by my current colors.
Are you looking at this here? Is this
I'm looking at the whole fan. So we have kind of a three-step process, but initially I'm looking at the whole fan, and this overpowers it a little bit. It might be hard to see on camera, but if we were to grab this one, it really blends a lot better. And this has enough brightness to stand up to my colors.
So here's the problem. When I see it side by side, it's obvious to me. If I were in the store, I'm not so sure that I would
see. And so that's where we talk in the color class a lot about the steps and the process to finding your colors. One thing we also give you is words to describe your color palette. So if I were to look at these two, this one is much softer and blended. It looks like it has like a gray or a green within it, and this is much more bright and kind of clearly one color. It looks kind of like a banana yellow.
Okay.
And so between our words and our fan, we can get it. And then I joke with everybody, your face is the final check. So if you were to zoom in on my face, it's going to be subtle.
This.
Let me see if I can block out all my other colors.
She did this in the office and I was stunned. Okay, so there's that one.
So here's this one. That's fine. But when I put this one on, my face lights up. I look brighter. So here, little dull, washed out, kind of green almost. And then a lot clearer. You can even see my blush a little bit more. It kind of pops. Here, everything sort of fades.
Okay, so now we'll come to me.
Let's talk about
not
you.
to make it all about me, but I typically don't wear a coat when I come into work because I'm just going to get from the car into here. But this morning it's cold, so I wore a coat. I was in Nashville not long ago with my daughter Meg, and I saw this coat.
It's so pretty.
And it is very pretty. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get that because I need to bring color into my life.
I love that.
And I had always heard that you're kind of naturally going to gravitate to the colors that look good on you anyway. So really with great joy, I said to Rebekah, oh, let me show you my coat.
And I commented on it when I walked in. I was like, oh, I like that coat.
And she said, when I put it on. But here's the thing. So I don't want it to mess up my microphone. So here's the coat. But you said that really I need something a bit brighter. Is that right?
I would go a bit warmer. So this works with this outfit because both of these colors, your shirt and your coat, are softened.
Okay.
So if this was electric blue, it would overpower your features. So what I find with a lot of my clients is they might be wearing 2 seasons until they get their colors done. So this is a softened color. So we know it's summer, but if you were in autumn, you might choose this as well because autumn colors are softened.
Okay.
And you're also wearing a soft color here. So it's creating a nice blend, but it might not be the best for your skin tone.
So show the colors, because we think I'm a spring, right? So if I was diagnosed that way.
So here are the spring colors with the coat, and they're just gonna overpower it. It's just too bright.
But there was somewhere in there, oh, is it this blue here that you had shown me?
Hyacinth, yep.
Maybe. Is it this here that I'm going to go for, Rebekah?
This? You want to go just a touch
so
brighter.
When she showed me this one, my eyes went even bigger because I do have some things in my closet that are this color.
I know.
And they are really wowing compared to this. That's okay.
It's fine, right? And it's also light. I wouldn't put a dark, deep color on you. But this is truly a summer color. You can see it blends and works better with the whole palette.
Yeah.
And so if you tried to wear a spring color with this, it wouldn't go with your whole fan. It doesn't work.
Okay. So, thank you for the 101.
Absolutely, anytime.
I do still like the coat, but I wish that I could. The thing is, too, when you do this with Rebekah, think of all the money you're going to save because the purchases you make are going to be lasting and lifelong.
They will. And I'm not the color police, so I'm still going to like that coat for you, too.
And she's very diplomatic. Houseofcolor.com, houseofcolor.com.
We got
Put the U in there, and she's down on Manufacturers Road. Love ya.
Same.
Buyers are out there. Curious what your home is worth? Let Onward Chattanooga Homes do our free home assessment. We'll walk your property. We'll even give you advice to help sell your home